Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Round Room Boys podcast. So, the movies we're talking about today are the what's the trilogy called again?
Cornetto Trilogy.
Well, why is it called the Cornetto Trilogy? Is it because of the ice cream that they use in these movies?
The ice cream is in every movie.
Okay.
So yes.
I barely noticed it in the last one. I just call it the Edgar Wright Trilogy.
Simon Pegg Trilogy because okay. So the movies we're talking about are Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End. All right, so
Shaun of the Dead came out first, I think.
But we're doing it in order, where it's like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, then The World's End.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's who we're. Yeah, because that's the order they came out.
So my name is Sebastian Exall. The key to your pants. I haven't said that in a long ass time. And
they know who you are.
Right. Considering whenever this comes out, it's my birthday.
Merry birthday! Merry birthday! All right, so the first movie we're talking about is Shaun of the Dead.
We're taking you back to the year 2004, which I actually thought the movie was more recent than that, honestly.
It's an older one.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it only came out 2 years after my literal birth date, you know?
Right. Besides a slight bit of racism, it holds up. So
it's not that racist.
Wait, I don't recall any racism.
Not
in Shaun of the Dead.
It's not really racist. It's just mostly making fun of it. It's not really racist. Now, Blazing Saddles is racist. Now that's a whole other thing. But that's funny. That's a funny kind of racist.
But that's also one of the funniest movies ever. But anyway, Shaun of the Dead. Let's discuss that, shall we?
All right.
It's about a man. His name is Shaun, if you couldn't tell. And he's a guy that lives with two roommates, a dude that also works, and his friend named, I forgot his name. Not Danny, that's in Hot Fuzz. He has a fat friend that's played by Nick Frost. And he's basically just a bum, and all he does is sit around and play video games and junk.
So
and
us, pretty
never
much.
cleans the house. Yeah. But freaking Shaun of the Dead. Shaun has a job as a TV salesman, and his girlfriend leaves him because he is going nowhere with his life, and every time they want to date, he always takes her to the same place, which is the Winchester, this pub. And then zombies show up.
Yep.
And then zombies show up, just randomly.
It's awesome. Yeah, man. Personally, for me, this is my favorite one out of the trilogy. That's just me.
I think
I love this one.
I think Simon Pegg's acting is best in this movie. Honestly, I think this is like his best acting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his best acting.
I think best
in this trilogy. I don't think so.
Maybe like dramatic acting. Maybe that's what you want to call it because
Maybe.
I do actually do get a good
World's End. Though World's End, he was pretty emotional, and I liked it.
I'm mostly connected with him on the whole killing his mom thing. I connected with him more on that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
True.
I forgot about that.
Rather than that,
that guy. There was the guy.
He's more sad of
there
making.
Was this fucking nerd that was like. That was like, yo, your mom's not a mom anymore. It's a fucking zombie. You need to shoot her ass. And he's like, nah, that's my fucking ma, you
and
twat.
like him.
Don't say the Z word.
He has to like deal with making difficult decisions that affect others and himself. In The World's End, it's mostly just making decisions for himself because he's more self-indulgent.
Right.
Kind of character.
Yeah.
And then Hot Fuzz is just straight up comedy.
Simon Pegg is just a good actor. Let's put a pin in there. Simon Pegg's just a brilliant actor.
Nick Frost too, man.
Nick Frost is more like funny.
Nick Frost is great.
Like, I don't think he's like a like an amazing.
He's not
actor.
a very good emotional actor.
I think he's mostly just like a good funny character.
You guys clearly didn't
like
watch...
a funny guy.
Well, you guys clearly didn't watch Paul. So.
I
did not want to watch that.
Paul.
I've already seen it, and it's dumb.
Side note, I was considering adding Paul to it since
Nah,
Paul is an
but,
okay
you know,
movie. Like, it's funny,
that
but
would-
it's not like a. It's not like Shaun of the Dead or fucking The World's End.
No. Also, Seth Rogen made it.
Yeah.
So it's not the same.
That tells you a lot about it.
It's
If Seth
not an
Rogen
Edgar
produces
Wright
it.
movie, really. Very good. But-
Anyway.
Shaun of the Dead, you know, your girlfriend breaks up with him. He's having a real bad time.
The dude from
fucking-
Guardians of the Galaxy is in it. What's his name?
Wait,
Wait, hold on.
which guy?
Fucking giant British guy. What's his name? He was also in that movie Couples Retreat. I
I'm
forget his
thinking.
name.
Hold on.
I've never seen
Uh,
Couples Retreat. What giant British guy are you talking about?
Remember the Nova Corps from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah?
He's the one that died.
Really?
Oh,
That-
you mean that no-name character?
No, he didn't have a known. He wasn't a known name. He fucking hold on.
Where's your baby? Huh?
Friggin'.
The one that became a zombie in the movie that was their roommate. That's
Oh, that guy.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Friggin'.
him. That's the first
Isn't his
album
name,
I ever
like-
bought.
Isn't his name Frank or something like that in Shaun of the
I
Dead?
don't know. I don't know. I think it might be.
But friggin', honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably, they're all about the same level of quality to me, but this one is probably the weakest in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
find
don't
it interesting you say that.
I'm not a big zombie movie guy, first off, so alrighty. And two, I can't really remember like the story of this movie. I just remember
doesn't-
moments.
Shaun
and
of
I
the
only
Dead
watched
doesn't
it, like,
really
2
have
days ago.
like a plot. It's mostly just him trying to survive and get to this bar. That's mostly the plot. Like The World's End and
Yeah,
Hot
but-
Fuzz have general plots.
I imagine.
He doesn't like this
Right.
movie is just him
Right.
trying to survive.
Yeah, but
imagine-
I feel like there's some lost potential because like there was this whole thing where he finally like breaks and he starts yelling at Nick Frost, right? But Nick Frost doesn't really change or anything before the scene where he sacrifices himself. So it doesn't really feel earned per se.
Yeah.
He just randomly is like, "Oh, I guess I'll just
Yeah.
sacrifice myself for everybody. I'm already dying anyway." But he doesn't really like show that he's developed as a person before that moment. Like he's playing an arcade game and drawing attention to everyone right before the scene. So it's like I feel like there could have been more development there. Friggin'. Literally the only scene I can remember in great detail is 2 parts. The part where the guy that tries to shoot Shaun because he loves his girlfriend or whatever. I remember him getting ripped apart by the zombies in the window, which had a really cool practical effect.
Yes.
And I remember the part where they were throwing fucking vinyl records at the zombies for some reason.
And they made the Batman joke. It's like
Oh,
Man.
the
okay.
soundtrack.
All right,
It just throws it.
Throw it.
So-
I wouldn't have thrown it. I wouldn't have thrown it, honestly.
So my favorite part of all of that. Here's why I love this movie. Is because with its jokes, it's not just like a one joke and then that's it. Like it piles on. You know what I mean? Some of my favorite parts, Virgin Mary reference. I thought that was great. Like Mary. I love how because they're such idiot. Oh, before I talk about that, I love how they started the movie off with the way the apocalypse started. To show how, everyone is kind of a zombie in their own way. He just wakes up and then walks to the store. And it's just a normal ass day. And it happens again, but this time there's zombies everywhere and he doesn't even fucking notice.
Well, that's also
Yeah, he
because
walks and gets the ice cream for Nick Frost
That's also
and all
because
that.
that's also how he perceives the world too, and it's
that
it's
they're
nothing new
zombies.
to him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's sort of leading a
Right.
sad life because he doesn't see anything great in life about it.
Right. I love how he's just like, no, I don't have any change. I didn't even have enough for the fucking shut up. But no, I love that the whole Virgin Mary sequence. And I think that's great. Just like fucking. I also love how he had to warn a zombie. I know he didn't know it was a zombie, but he had to warn her, be like, "I'm going to get physical if you don't stop." And then he just goes, "Fuck off!" And then just. I
So
feel
in
like
there's no way in real life if somebody fell on that fucking pipe or whatever that it would like pierce right through their skin and then leave
You'd
that
be
hole. It
it
makes a
depends
great
on-
shot.
it
but
depends. It depends on the amount of speed someone's falling, and also you got to remember it's a zombie, so
It's
the
weak.
skin has obviously rotted,
Weak
and the
flesh.
yeah, everything's weak.
But they also have
So-
retard strength,
Exactly,
which is
and I
interesting.
think
Oh yeah.
all zombies do. I love that.
I mean, Frankenstein had that prime retard strength, right? Is that what you said, Matt?
he did.
God
He
damn
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole fence joke that they made throughout.
Oh
the
yeah.
movie.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
in
No.
World's End they made
Oh,
another
Yeah.
one.
No.
Yeah.
In a bunch of their movies,
every
they
movie,
put it.
so many people are jumping over fences.
Right. What's wrong? Never taken a shortcut before.
And he
Just
fucking
falls.
smashes
I love
his face.
that. I love how he. I don't know if you remember this, but he did like a double jump as like the fence fell before he did. Like he's like.
like-
That was great.
I like how there's like a fucking. I like how there's like a ditto fucking Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Crew version of them, where there's just like, it's
Oh
the
my
exact
God.
same group basically, and they have that joke where they're walking past each other and they're introducing each other and they're like, hi, and all that. It's literally just the same exact thing.
You know
Friggin-
what? You know what would have been funny? And I'm glad, and it's a good thing that they didn't do it. But do you know how, like, there's US TV shows that are the same as UK shows, but it's a different cast, pretty much? That would have been genius if they made an American version of this film. It was the UK
that'd
and
be
American people, like, crossing each other.
It wouldn't have been nearly as good.
No, well,
That's part of its charm is the
maybe,
fact that it's
but
a UK
I think
movie.
that's
part of its charm.
yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I also love Kill the Queen. What? Kill the song. Kill it. And oh. But if no
This
one
movie has
keeps
some
up-
pretty good jams, man. I swear. It has some pretty good jams.
I'm sure most
friggin-
of their budget went towards that. No disrespect, but I'm sure most of their budget went towards that. The music and
Friggin-
prosthetics.
Well, it really shows because
You know, you know what I heard?
because the effects are well. I mean,
You
they're
know what I
practical
heard?
and it's awesome.
Oh,
When
Yeah,
Daff's, that's his name. Daff's got fucking
ripped
pulled
apart. Yeah.
That was
This
great.
movie does feel like it's cheaply made, but
I
I, feel
think
like
that
it's part
was-
of its charm too, though.
Yes,
Friggin'
absolutely.
I think the tearing apart that guy's stomach, I think that's an homage to Dawn of the Dead, actually.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
Well, definitely.
Because there's
I'm
a scene very similar to it in Dawn of the Dead where a character gets swarmed by zombies and gets his
Well, the whole
intestines
title
ripped
is a
out and
tribute
all
to
that
Dawn of the
in
Dead.
in a very similar fashion. You know what I heard though? Friggin' I heard from the grapevine that apparently the reason Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg made this movie, Shaun of the Dead, was because they had a low budget and they wanted to make a movie so that they could make enough back so that they could actually make Hot Fuzz, which was what they wanted to make all
That's
along.
awesome.
So, but they didn't have the they didn't have the budget, so they made Shaun of the Dead so that they could make enough money to make Hot Fuzz. So,
Speaking of money,
Friggin-
should I go ahead
Go
and
on
get
ahead.
to the box office shit?
yeah,
Alright,
sure,
alright.
bro. I'm sure this made a shitload of money. It's so good, but
All right,
it's,
so I'm gonna look up budget. I hate this website. They never show the budget. I'm gonna look that up.
The thing I
Hold on.
like about this movie a lot,
Who wants to take a guess on what?
the thing I like about this movie a lot is also like, it feels like playing Dead Rising because like in Dead Rising you just grab whatever object you have and just start bashing zombies with it, and in this movie it's exactly what they do. They just grab random objects. Like it's not just shooting zombies. No, it's like actually grabbing your surroundings and using it to defend yourself. It's fucking cool.
like fucking like he uses the tether ball pull or friggin' he
It's
uses
rubbish.
he uses a not a croquet. Cricket
Okay.
bat. Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, before I get into the budget and shit, my other favorite part is like, Ed, for the last time, it's not a real shotgun, and then it
pops
just
off.
fucking shoots off.
I love the part where fucking they make this whole elaborate plan about how they keep constantly mentioning that they're going to kill Sean's
Oh my
stepdad,
God.
and then he goes to the house to
That was
rescue
the
his
best
mom,
fucking joke in the
and he's
movie.
like, "I'm sorry, Dad," and then his dad's like, "Sorry for what?" And he just gives in.
like,
And
"Damn
Sean's just like, "Oh God, we're keeping him
Mm-hmm.
here." Damn it.
Damn it. Just like, sorry, Philip. Grab Liz, grab Mum, head back here, and have a nice pint of tea until it all boils over.
And that, what was his name? Daz, or something like that?
Dafts.
Dafts. I like how he has a mental breakdown and is like, what do you think he's gonna do when he gets back here? What do you think Sean's gonna do? He's gonna make everyone just sit here and eat peanuts? He doesn't have a plan. And then everyone's like, nah, you stop that. Sean's got a brilliant plan that's gonna save all of us. And then Sean gets back and he's immediately just like, who wants a peanut? Forget it.
There's also an extended scene where Shaun has to break in through the back door. Oh fuck! Hold on, wait. My other favorite part: they're all zombies, and then they head to the front door. They can't get in. Like, is there another way in? Yeah, there. And then fucking Ed's weed dealer calls him, being like, just and he's like, Matt,
He's like,
I love you to death, but that's you, Matt, in that situation.
whatever.
Just for the meme, you'd be like,
I don't think.
and I'm not calling him, and I'm not saying that he's stupid. Just because he loves to get a joke in, he would do that specifically to be funny. They'd be like, "This is not the fucking time, man."
I feel like that's more of a you thing to do, Seabass.
I would not answer the phone in the middle of a fucking apocalypse, but
Nobody would. Nobody here would. No one in their right mind would.
I have my phone on buzzer all the time, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
But in the extended scene, Sean had to break back in, and do you remember how Sean had a pen stain on his shirt? And then, like, Daphs was like, "What's that blood on you?" He's like, "It's pen." And then, like, was talking about Ed. It's like, "Ed's like your boyfriend or something." Sean's like, "Ed is not my boyfriend." And then Ed's like,
He's like,
"I got the beer for
like,
you.
"Thanks,
It's
babe."
a little warm, but it should be fine."
So thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Shit's awesome.
Yeah, alright, so budget. So, I'm gonna go in... We've agreed that I'm gonna go in USD, US dollars, just
Yes. Because I'm an
easier.
uncultured boy.
Even though budget would probably be more realistic in, that currency, I'm gonna go in US dollars. So, the budget for Shaun of the Dead was $6.1 million.
Damn.
That's it. That's all they had.
Yeah, no, that's
pretty
actually
cheap,
yeah,
man.
that's
Pretty...
wow.
Right. So, opening weekend in 606 theaters, excuse me, they made $3,300,000
They made half their budget back in a single weekend?
in opening weekend. They made half their budget back. And then worldwide, when it was all said and done, they made $30 million.
Oh.
Damn, boy.
Oh.
5 times its budget.
5 times. And it was, this thing was a success, man.
Well, yeah.
This thing was great.
Because out of all the Cornetto movies, this one's probably the most well-known.
It is the most well known. I think. I think if you, I think anybody would know this movie.
I don't know a single person that doesn't. I don't know a single person that doesn't know what Shaun of the Dead is, and there's plenty of people I don't know that I know don't know what Hot Fuzz is.
Here's what I'll say. Shaun of the Dead is the most well-known. Hot Fuzz is the most respected. The World's End is the most cult following of, like, the fans, I think. Is that fair? Would you say?
But yeah, I could see that. I have my problems with the World's End, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah.
No, Shaun of the Dead, I give it 8 zombie flesh out of 10. That's what I give it. There's some stuff they could have done better. I didn't like the ending.
The ending
I was
was
just
dumb.
like, hey, Ed's a zombie. And
The ending was really fucking dumb.
I thought the ending was.
The ending
thought
was
it was-
rushed.
It was funny, but like it made no sense in the long run because like they just started making zombies be like on national television and all that.
Well,
It's,
not
like, really
that. Also, like, it's probably, if a zombie apocalypse happened, the most realistic turn of events. Like, it would end in one day. Like, which, let's be honest, is probably the most realistic thing. If there was ever a zombie apocalypse, it would end in one day.
Well,
Yeah,
Just
but
'cause.
wasn't
not
a
if we don't
fan.
drop. I mean, if we drop nukes on everything, then probably yeah. But you know,
I didn't like the
I would-
ending. I didn't like how just like Ed, like, you know what I mean? Just like, and then they play video games. Like, that's, I didn't really like it.
I don't like that Shaun, though his girlfriend left him because he, you know, all the stuff about him just being kind of a lazy guy who only wants to go to the Winchester all the time, is constantly supporting a bad friend and all that, and he doesn't really change in my opinion.
he doesn't really change
over the
that
course
much.
of the movie, and
No,
then she
definitely
just
not.
gets. He doesn't really change that much, and then immediately afterward, after his friend sacrifices himself, they get right back together again, like nothing happened. So it's like, oof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's that hero complex. It's like, this person saved my life. Even though, personally, I think Ed saved both of their lives. Let's be honest here.
I think this movie is smarter than that, though. I feel.
Yeah.
Friggin'. I personally would rate it like a 7 out of 10, personally.
Matt,
I
what
give
about
it
you?
an 8 or 9. Okay, so in my opinion, I think this is probably the funniest one out of all these movies.
Definitely.
Nah, not to
I think
me.
it's the funniest one.
I think so.
The world's okay.
Me too.
Hot Fuzz, I didn't think was all too funny. I thought it was just a nice, like it was a good like action-packed movie, but it wasn't like
It was a nice comedy.
yeah, no, but I don't think it's as
It was a
funny
nice
as Shaun of the
comedy.
Dead and same with The World's End. But yeah, no, I give it like a 9. I liked it a lot. I just watched it last night. It was a fun movie to watch.
It's always, for me, it never gets old. Like, you know, like Hot Fuzz and
Yeah,
The World's End.
none of these movies feel timeless, you know.
No. Oh, shit! Drop my computer. No. I like all of them. I think they're great.
It's also Simon Pegg, and
But this one, for
I
me,
freaking love Simon Pegg, no matter what he's in, honestly.
the highlight of Mission Impossible. Let's be honest. He's great. While we're
He
on the
was in
top,
that. He was in Ready Player One too.
Was he?
yeah. While we're on the topic of Shaun of the Dead, should we talk about how they made a cameo in Phineas and Ferb?
Oh yeah, that's true. In Phineas and Ferb, there was an episode where everyone was getting turned into Doofenshmirtz, and freaking Shaun and
They
Nick
played
Frost
their
were there.
characters. They played
Yeah,
the
their
Shaun of the Dead
characters.
characters.
They were playing their characters in the episode, and frickin' they were like questioning the logic of like how come if they infect you, you grow a lab coat and a black jacket and all that.
Are you insinuating that my clothes
are alive? Because that's scarier than the zombies. Friggin'.
That was great. Nick Frost was, or not Nick Frost. Well, he was too. Simon Pegg was on Phineas and Ferb a shit ton. He made a ton of guest star appearances.
I'm sure. I mean, that was a whole like. I'm pretty sure that show was like all of like a British thing, wasn't it?
Almost. God, there's like one fly in my room that's annoying me.
All right, so
Take it out with a hand grenade.
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
The weakest.
2007.
Oh no.
My favorite out of the trilogy.
I say The World's End
love
for
me
Here's the thing. I love Hot Fuzz, but to me, I feel like it's trying
I
too
don't
hard.
think so.
Like,
I
that's
don't
just
think
my
I
opinion.
feel like it tried just hard enough. It's my personal favorite. I love me a good buddy cop movie, and I love me a good murder mystery. And this
It
one
was
kept
good.
me on my toes just about the whole time. I was very. See, I've never seen this movie before.
Really?
But up until this point, I have not seen Hot Fuzz. I had seen At World's End, I think one other time right when it came out, but then never saw it again, so I forgot everything about it. and I've seen Shaun of the Dead plenty of times, but Hot Fuzz I had never seen. And from first glance, from the concept of it, I thought this was going to be like a live-action, stupid comparison, but I thought it was going to be like Cars, where like a hotshot gets moved to a small town and gets humbled by it and learns to enjoy the simple life instead of just being focused on work all the whole time. But it's not, and it's much better.
Okay, so
there's like a
so
shit
the
ton
plot
of
of this
murder.
movie is basically there's this guy named Angel, and he's played by Simon Pegg. And Angel is a super workaholic cop who gets everything right, everything perfect. He's basically the best cop around. And they send him
Proving once again how
But
good
everybody-
of an actor Simon is.
Right.
Because
But everybody-
these are two completely different characters.
and they
Again.
send him
Yeah.
off
But like
and
everyone
they
hates
send him off to this countryside little village area, right? To where he becomes a new cop there. And basically in this village per se, whatever you want to call it, there's a series of murders that happened, and basically a lot of the main figures in the town are sort of in on it, and basically cause these murders and stuff.
Right.
And he's trying to figure it out, and he's
Yeah, it's
dealing
like a-
with the police force that's also corrupted by like one of their chiefs who's also in on the whole murder thing. But yeah, and so he has to deal with all that shit too.
No, he's like the head honcho of the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's
Friggin-
fucking it's really cool.
Friggin' the cop. I loved to hate every scene where like Shaun was trying to be like a really good cop, but there's these two dickwads that are like the detectives of the police force that keep constantly going like, "Oh yeah, so what are you gonna do about it? You trying to do our job?"
The Andes,
You know,
the Andes.
The Andes, yeah, they're the fucking hilarious.
This is the movie
but
where
I loved to hate them.
This is the movie where Nick Frost actually starts getting better, I feel, in his acting. But that's mostly because they give him more to work with. Because he's now like an actual main character.
Yeah,
like,
they
he's
make
not
him
just
like
a side
the-
character. He's an actual like.
He's not
Right.
just
Yeah.
the friend that nobody likes.
a main character.
And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's the son of the chief of the police station, and he's gotten all of his influence from all these action movies like Point Break and Bad
Oh
Boys
my
2.
god,
Bad
Friggin-
Boys
freaking
2.
awesome!
Yeah,
Point Break of Bad Boys 2.
it's
I
like,
loved it.
well, which one do you think I'll prefer? No, which one are we watching first? They literally redo the scene from Point
Where
Break
he's- where
though,
he's
that they
shooting
were
in the
showing
air.
earlier in the movie, where Keanu Reeves shoots the gun, where he's shooting on the ground in the air and screaming. They do that where frickin' Nick Frost has a perfect shot
like,
at his
"Ah!"
murderer,
Shoots in the
and he
air.
just does the exact same thing.
Right.
Friggin'.
I love it so much. The second fence scene of the trilogy.
Yeah,
I think
he actually
they were
nails
going-
it.
They were going in, and they were going in expecting people to be like, "Oh, he's just gonna fucking fall again," and then no,
Yeah.
he just jumps like 10 of them, and then Nick Frost like
Just breaks it.
I love how he doesn't even try to jump over him; he just keeps running into him, and then falling
Yeah.
and then getting up. That was great.
I love
Yeah.
the whole thing where like the murders are happening and everybody knows about it. Everyone's saying it's an accident, and then Nicholas Angel, literally sees a murder happen right in front of his eyes with a pair of garden shears to this woman's throat. He chases after him. There's all this stuff that proves that there was a murderer there, and everyone's just like, nah, she just tripped.
That was the most
She-
annoying shit to watch. That was so fucking annoying
Right.
because there is so much evidence to show that she did not just trip on her fucking whatever.
Yeah, but then there was that awesome scene. There was that Knives Out moment, right, where the detective lays all the evidence out on the guy who did all the murdering and all that.
How
And he's like,
at multiple places at once?
No, you. How could I be at multiple places? But detective.
Okay, no. Okay.
How could I be the
Okay,
murderer?
so I want to talk about this dude, all right? Skinner. Skinner is the best
He is
character
so
in this
sus.
movie.
So
His voice is so fucking
Yeah.
evil, and I love it. I want to hear him do voice acting for villains. I love his fucking evil.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's so sus.
He'd be like a
so
great.
sus.
Right.
I was literally like asking I was watching this with my brother, and I was literally asking like the whole time, it's like, I can't tell if because this is a comedy, they're just making the villain really obvious, or if this is just like the best red herring I've ever fucking seen.
Turns out.
It turns out I was kind of right in both ways, right?
Yeah.
Because literally everyone was
I want
in
to
on
hear
it.
this dude voice.
Pretty much.
And then friggin' they...
An anime villain. I want to hear him voice an anime villain.
No, he should do a video game, like voice acting.
Yeah, no, I want to hear him. Yeah.
To be a villain, that'd be.
He should be the guy that he should be the guy that does the new voice for Xehanort. I feel.
If Matt, this is gonna sound really weird. If they ever brought Shujinko
Oh
back
my
to
God!
Mortal
Don't
Kombat,
even!
I think
Don't
he'd be
even!
the voice.
Don't even!
Who the heck is Shujinko?
The best character that has only been in 2 games.
Timothy Dalton.
I've
That's his
never
name.
heard of this character. But anyway, Timothy Dalton. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's been in more than just this movie. But
I love how Angel talks to a plant a lot. A plant is his best friend. I love that.
I
That's-
freaking love him. I love Michael, the guy, the buff guy with the bald buff guy that
Yarp.
freaking just says yarp or narp.
Yarp. Yarp.
I like how he only says yarp up until the point until Angel knocks him out, and then he takes the walkie-talkie
He goes-
and freaking he's like, "Are you sure? Is he going to get back up again?" And he's like, "Narp."
Narp.
It's like, okay, good.
That was great.
Friggin'
Okay.
Man.
There's some good, dude. The entire last third of this movie is just the greatest fucking thing ever. Cause from the detective, from Nicholas finding the table, the round room, with all the like the 9 people in cloaks and whatnot.
I want one. I want one. I want a big ass round table with some cloaks.
From that moment on.
I want one.
Yes, I want that too. But from that moment onward, it's just brilliant because they like have a battle in like a small scale version of the city. Frickin' my boy Nicholas frickin' rolls up with like a shitload of guns on top of a white stallion rolling into town, and literally fucking everybody has guns.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Frickin' like the woman takes out the picnic basket and she has dual pistols in there. Friggin' the priest has sleeve guns.
Right.
Oh my God.
Should I get into money real quick?
Maybe I have one more practical effect.
Okay.
One more thing. There's a practical effect that they never take out of the dude, but Skinner falls on the top of like this church or whatever, and it goes up his jaw, and it like stays there for the entire rest of the movie. They break it off, and then when he's taking his police pictures for the record, it's still in his jaw, and I'm like, are they ever gonna take that fucking thing out? If you're gonna,
Right.
that like physically hurt to see.
It was
Again,
good.
they had the. It was a real good. I love this
awesome,
movie.
dude.
It's my
fucking
favorite
awesome.
out of the trilogy.
It's
Friggin',
really good. Really good.
I love the whole thing where like they use the same actors in most of the 3 movies. They use like the same actors as different characters. Like how the police chief for Nicholas Angel's old police station is played by the guy who plays the stepdad in Shaun of the Dead.
Yep.
Frickin', I thought that was great. Frickin'.
Because
I just
Philip used to touch me, Mom.
The swan.
That was the best joke
The
in the fucking movie.
The best joke in the whole movie is the main bad guy dies because he's driving off in a police car and there's a fucking swan in there and just murders his ass.
Alright, let's talk.
Alright, you can get into money.
Alright,
I'll allow it.
So, guys, considering the fact that they wanted a shit ton of money from Shaun of the Dead to make this movie, how much do you think the budget was?
I would say the budget was probably around, I would say 30 million. Yeah.
You say 30 million?
Maybe it was less. I would say somewhere between 20 and 30 million for the budget of this
10 to
movie.
15.
It's probably
10 to
less
15.
than that.
Matt,
10 to 15 million.
8 million.
Oh wow.
8 million?
8 million.
Wow.
$8 million. Opening weekend, they made $5,837,000.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah.
They made over half their budget back again.
How much?
They're good.
Now, how much do you think they made worldwide?
Definitely more than Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yes,
Friggin-
absolutely.
At least at the minimum 50 million, right? Friggin'.
Right. They made $80,743,363.
Damn.
Holy
Damn.
gargans! They made 10 times their budget.
Damn.
Yep.
This
Can't
is
say
also
shame
the-
for World's End. Yeah.
The frickin' this is also the most critically acclaimed of the movies. With it has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's well deserved.
Absolutely.
Friggin'.
I love this movie. Personally, Shaun of the Dead is my favorite, but this one, I'll give it a 7.9 out of 10. That's what I'll give it.
I'd say like a 9 or 10. 9 or 10 out of 10. I was not bored watching this movie. I had an amazing time watching this movie. It was
Not at
fucking
all.
Cool. Great time. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I would definitely give this one at least a 9 out of 10. It's moi.
Absolutely.
It's very good.
It is moi, and Cornetto counter right here. They ate ice cream in the police car before Shaun conducted the chase. Yes, so there's the second one. All right, I guess we're moving on to the World's End.
We're going on to World's End.
This is a really short episode.
Well, we're trying to keep it to about an hour or so, right? We're trying to shorten it, make it shorter, sweeter, to the point, as it should be for our fans. But the World's End 2013. So it took 6 years between Hot Fuzz and this movie. It only took 3 between Shaun and Hot Fuzz.
Apparently, from what I can recognize, they were going to make this sooner, but Mission Impossible came up, and then Seth Rogen asked them to make Paul. So that's why this kept coming up.
Yeah. Friggin', personally, I have some problems with this movie, but I had a great time watching it. I
had a good time as well.
I had a great time. Like, there were some parts I thought were really funny, but I have one big problem with this movie.
I feel like I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Is it the fact that it's a supernatural sort of movie?
No,
again?
no, not at all. The problem I have is the themes of this movie and like the character arcs of the king and all that. They have nothing to do with the fact that there are robot aliens.
This movie is
none
batshit
whatsoever.
insane.
Well, that's the point.
That's what we're trying to say. Because,
well, the thing is, I think they did that on purpose to try to keep it a surprise. Because in a way, hear me out. In a way, this is kind of a combination of both movies. It's like a supernatural thing and an action adventure.
No, it's not a
sci-fi.
supernatural thing. It's a
not
sci-fi
it's more
thing.
sci-fi.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's my thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Supernatural
Like,
and sci-fi are two different
Here's my-
things.
the point I'm trying to make is like the first movie was about zombies, and then they made the action movie. Okay, how can we bring something back? We can't do zombies
I do
again.
understand what you're saying, and
Aliens.
you know
what I mean?
I absolutely agree with you on that. I do understand, because I was even thinking that too when I was watching the movie. I was like, wow, this is like a weird combination of what they've done. And I do think the action scenes and stuff like that is really good and shit. I think they're fun to watch and they're cool.
They're really well choreographed.
Oh yeah, no, they're fun to watch. And
Well,
they're
this is
cool.
their third time doing this stuff.
But-
so yeah, I think so.
Like
My problem with this movie
I was.
is that the first piece of the movie feels like it's just like a road trip kind of movie, right? Kind of like Without a Paddle, you know, you got a group of friends who just go on this trip, right?
Yeah,
I
I
love
would
Without
have
Paddle.
preferred, but honestly, I would have preferred that kind of movie. Honestly,
Absolutely, I think so too.
No,
I
sweetie,
think
no.
here's what I like about the beginning of the movie I think it's relatable to. There's some people who can move on from what they did in
And
their
there's
past,
some people
right?
that cannot.
Some people
And
can't
there's some
do
people
it.
who peaked, and for lack of a better term, there are people who peak later in life, and there are some people who peak in high school, right? Or I think it's called primary school in the UK.
Hey,
But
hey,
like,
over here, down here,
I feel like
down here.
that this movie could have been just a funny but enriching movie about, you know, how to find happiness outside of a bottle, how to look past your past and moving forward. But they don't really do that, because every time it seems like there's going to be a moment of growth for our main character Gary, the king. There's fucking random robot shit. Like, literally, the best example of this is I feel like there was going to be a really good, really emotional confrontation scene between Nick Frost and Gary.
There was.
About him lying about his dead mom. But no, they get distracted by a 5-minute long scene of them fighting like 5 robot teenagers in the bathroom.
Right. Also, let's be honest here. I love this movie personally, but they just copied The Watch, right? Do you guys remember that movie, The Watch, with Ben Stiller and Jonah
that
Hill?
movie was dumb.
The Watch is much
they
worse.
Copied The Watch.
The Watch is much worse.
It absolutely is, but they copied The Watch. Let's be honest here. 4 dudes, alien. Like, you see what I mean?
I'm sorry. There was 5 dudes in The World's End. Sorry. And by the way, no, the whole movie wasn't just a fucking Costco product placement.
No, but like, I love this movie. Fence number 3. I feel like they could have done something. If there was ever a time to make a fence scene, like, could you imagine if they like had like, this is gonna sound really stupid, but if I wrote this movie, I would have had like a dueling scene where they're each hiding on different sides of the fence, being like, or something. I don't know. I think if this is the last movie, because we don't know.
See,
it took them 6 years to make another one.
The thing that would have made the fence scene funnier to me is that, you see, the whole thing is that they're trying to make it through the Golden Route. They're supposed to get to all 12 pubs, starting at whatever, ending at the World's End, which is a pub. I think it would have been funny is while they were hiding from the robots or whatever. I think there would have been funny if they were trying to make it find a shortcut to through a fence, and they could have used that line that they used in the first 2 movies, where it's like, "What's wrong? You never used a shortcut before?"
And then like,
and then maybe like he could have like flipped over the fence and would have actually nailed it, but then he gets on the other side and there's like 70 fucking robots right on the other side.
Well, that's kind of a copy of what they did in the first Shaun of the Dead when he like climbed the ladder to look over the fence. What would have been fun?
Like,
here's what would have been funny if they did the fence thing, and like they were about to jump over the giant fence, and then one was like, "Guys, there's a door right here. We can just go through the door. Like we can just go through the gate."
Yeah.
Personally,
there was a
fucking
part where these twins are like robots, and one of them gets busted the fuck up, and then the other one just takes the legs of the other one and uses it as its arms. And I was like, this is the weirdest fucking shit I ever did see. I'm the friggin' right along with the marmalade sandwich. It was fucking,
right.
It was just it was just bonkers. How did they get Bilbo Baggins and Pierce Brosnan in this movie? How?
I'm sure neither of them had anything to do. So they're not exactly in anything nowadays, but
no, but this was like right before before the guy was in the Hobbit trilogy, yeah. Right. And then Pierce Brosnan just came out of like Mamma Mia or something, right? Friggin'.
Yes, that's true. I like this movie, but like I feel like they're just like, all right, this isn't going anywhere. Let's add alien robots. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
I feel like this would have been a much more emotional story.
I totally agree with you on that one, because I feel like that what they do was, especially like the very ending of the movie, I feel like that they did not know how to end this movie, so they basically just had the main characters bully the AI into just going away and blowing up all technology. Then all of a sudden, Gary King becomes like a badass bandit with a fucking sword on his back, and he's got like a bunch of like other robots that represent his friends when they were younger, so that he can relive the old young days of some stupid shit like that. They did not know.
They have to
feel
use
like
shit to plant plants.
I feel like that this movie was not planned.
Yeah, I feel
like that they were just writing it as they were doing it. Like it doesn't feel like it's planned.
Okay.
It's still funny and it's still good to an extent, but like
yes,
which kudos to them, because if they did write it going along, it's a decent movie.
I'm going to have to retract my previous statement. I now realize that The World's End is my least favorite
it's my least favorite
by
too.
a bigger margin.
I don't know.
honestly, what I feel like is that what we got was okay, but I feel like they took one really good movie about like aliens coming, and there's this guy named Gary King, and he's gonna show the world that he is the king. You know, and he's gonna take out the AI, and there's an apocalypse and all that. And then they took this other movie about Gary King, the guy who's an alcoholic who needs to learn to look forward instead of backwards all the time.
Right.
And needs to And then they took a low-key comedy drama, and then basically like Dune, and then just smashed it together. And freaking.
You know what I mean? I think they really should have. Okay, we can't make this an alien adventure, an alien action movie, and a dramatic road trip movie. We can't do both, but they did. And it's like, come on, man. Like,
they were trying to fit too many genres in
if
one
you were gonna
movie.
make it
did not work out well for me.
Right.
If they were gonna make it like a sci-fi road trip movie, right? They should have done it more in like a Guardians of the Galaxy style way, right? Friggin'
maybe. I don't know.
Because that's basically what at least the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'd watch a British sci-fi.
It's kind of like a road
Simon
trip
Pegg
movie for the power.
And Nick Frost. I'd watch a British sci-fi.
I mean, you can. I mean, there's Paul. That's a sci-fi with Simon Pegg.
But that's
and Nick Frost.
not
But there's
good,
also
though.
Hitchhiker's
It's
Guide
not
to the
good.
Galaxy.
It's decent.
It really
But what about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? That has Simon Pegg, and that's a sci-fi.
I haven't watched that one yet.
There's this newer one called Absolutely Everything.
I did hear about
where
that.
Simon Pegg has like the ability to like he has the ability to just summon anything he wants to change anything out of thin air, and he has a dog that he wishes he could understand, so it starts talking, and the dog is voiced by Robin Williams before he died. Friggin'.
My favorite scene in this movie is when Nick Frost and Simon Pegg fight at the end of the Golden Mile at the World's End. Like, I thought, despite the fact of what I just said, they can't do both. They did a decent job at making an emotional scene.
Nick Frost carried this movie.
Because like, yes,
Who?
Nick Frost carried this movie.
Nick
in my
Frost,
opinion.
he carried this film.
Yeah. I think Simon Pegg also did an outstanding job.
Oh no,
He did.
No. I'm not saying Simon Pegg
No.
didn't do a good job. No, I'm saying that Simon Pegg did a really good job with what he had and what he did in this movie. Like, a really good job. But I think Nick Frost did better than Simon Pegg in this movie, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I could
Sucks
see that.
because I don't like this movie that much.
The emotional the scene that comes to mind when I think of it is when they get to the World's End at last, just like Seabass was talking about. They have that emotional scene about having the last drink, and they have like this huge fight about how his life is, how Nick Frost's life is perfect, and how Simon Pegg literally has nothing but this thing that he clings onto from the past.
They told me when to go to bed. Me. That was funny.
I feel like if it was attached to a better, more cohesive movie, I feel like that scene would have been like the most powerful thing ever. But
especially
afterward, they have that it's amazingly funny. The scene where they go downstairs
and they bully the AI.
Bully the shit out of the AI.
That's the best fucking scene in this movie. It's the best scene.
Absolutely.
but it clashes so hard with the rest of the fucking movie that it like makes the ending go batshit and crazy, and all of a sudden it's a post-apocalyptic Judgment Day fucking thing.
Again, they were trying to combine
Cornetto count
fucking genres.
Cornetto counter number 3, as Nick Frost was being like, but I don't really miss anything from the old world, and then just a packet of Cornetto flew onto the fence.
And then
I like how he saw it and he's like,
flew away.
Yeah, that was the shortest Cornetto reference in the bunch. You're good.
Yep. Before we give our final thoughts, I'll go ahead and talk about money real quick. So, yeah. Financially, I think this was the biggest gamble. And it wasn't a failure, but okay.
It had some pretty good special effects, all things considered.
Right.
So they probably used a pretty good budget.
The budget for this movie was $20 million.
So double the amount of money for Hot Fuzz, but that's still a pretty low budget, all things considered, for a movie. Like,
yeah, and especially since, let's be honest here, the effects, the CG, did not look horrible for such a low budget. I thought it was all right. They did a good job.
Yeah, they mostly use practical effects, though. When it comes to like the robots and junk, they used a lot of practical effects.
The few times they did use CG, it didn't look bad. Is what I'm saying. It was alright.
Yeah, like the giant statue or whatever. Dude,
yeah, that wasn't horrible.
I was trying to think of a movie that I could compare the budget of this movie to. I could think of the lowest stakes big budget movie I can think of with zero special effects or anything. Fucking Mamma Mia has a $52 million budget. Friggin'.
It's all location. That's probably what the budget is for.
And music production.
How on earth?
And music. Man,
I
music's
guess.
expensive. Alright, this isn't good. Opening weekend. They made $8,811,790. That's opening weekend.
That's
not bad.
Terrible.
It's just about half their budget.
It's not like TMNT 3 bad or anything, you know.
Or RoboCop 3. Yeah. Remember RoboCop 3? It was like 10 grand or something.
Oh god, I
don't remember.
You're bringing me back Vietnam flashbacks of RoboCop 3 and the horribly implemented jetpack. Fucking.
Yep. Okay. So this movie, unlike the previous movies, this movie was in 1,500 theaters. So this was pretty worldwide, which was awesome, I think. And worldwide, again, it's not a flop, but worldwide they made $46,089,287.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they still doubled their budget. They still doubled their budget, you know?
Yeah, but compared to, like...
But
Hot
still,
Fuzz,
it only made half as much as Hot Fuzz made double that amount of money, and it had half the budget.
Right. I will say this, I don't think it's... Even though it's a trilogy, I would say it's not fair to... I know none of us are doing it, but it's not fair to critique it as the second movie was the best one, because in reality, it's all different movies.
Mm-hmm.
They might be in the same universe, but they're all different movies.
Are they in the same universe?
I don't think so. No way.
They have to have some sort of connection. Besides the ice cream, they have to have some sort of connection if they're
how about the fact that they're all directed and written by the same guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. This movie, I love it, but at the same time, it has its flaws, and it couldn't decide what it was. You know,
yeah.
And it's really disappointing because excuse me, we don't know if this is necessarily the concluding chapter. I'm sure it is, but you never know since none of them are connected as far as we know in any way.
I think that,
yeah.
If this is the concluding chapter, I feel bad. You know what I mean? Because
I think that this movie would have been
They
better
had the bet.
if they would have just stuck it as a funny road trip drama movie rather than just shoehorning aliens there in a post-apocalyptic world. I think that if they would have just
I like your example. I like your example of Without a Paddle.
Mm-hmm.
That would have something similar to that.
So would
have sufficed.
So say for instance, instead of aliens, right? Maybe the town has like corrupt people, or maybe it's like a cult instead of a fucking fucking aliens. It's like a cult or something. You know what I mean? Something a little bit more different than just some sci-fi fucking aliens. I think in a post-apocalyptic world that just does not fit with this whole story we're giving. That's my thing.
Here's what I will say.
I honestly don't think there needed to be a cult or like aliens or anything.
But
they could have literally just had a road trip movie.
If you still want to have action and stuff and like fight scenes, then go ahead and put the cult or some shit
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with Matt. I think if they absolutely, I don't think they should have, but if they absolutely needed a thing, I think a cult would have worked
better
great.
than fucking aliens.
Because like, you know, it still would have been like Shaun of the Dead, a horror comedy, right? Hot Fuzz, an action comedy. And then The World's End would be a drama comedy. You know what I mean? Because like, there was so much potential with the Gary thing, and like how like he can't get over the past, right? Like, the thing I hate, this is what made me mad about the movie. They like poked into like great plot points, but they did nothing with it. Like, Gary was in rehab and he's still wearing the thing. They talked about it for like 2 seconds. Gary's mom.
Yeah, at the very end of the movie.
The fact that they killed off,
don't you think we should have
like half the main cast for that? For the whole.
I mean, granted,
in Shaun of the Dead they did that too. But like, it was a zombie movie and whatever, you know, like. But like, they weren't like the main characters.
I think what they were trying to. I think the whole thing about them killing the characters in The World's End was, I think it was supposed to mirror the fact that the characters bounced out in when their first attempt at the golden passageway or whatever they called it, the Golden Mile. They talked about how after a certain pub, one of the characters like threw up or something, so they had to leave, and then another person left. And so like with those 3 people,
it's trying to mirror it, because it's like
it's trying to mirror it.
So those people die. You know what I mean? And like, this movie had so much potential, and it
did.
Just another.
How come low-key how come probably my favorite performance in the whole movie, other than Nick Frost of course and Simon Pegg, like there's this guy that gets bullied by this kid in high school, and he has just all like this pent-up aggression
out of the robot version of his bully.
The robot.
Yeah. That just made me think of at the end of the Simpsons movie, when the one kid was like, "I've been taking crap from you for all my..." Like, that just made me think of that scene for some reason. This is good. No wonder you do it. Like, you know, that's what it made me think of.
What purpose does their face lighting up have?
Intimidation, maybe? I don't know.
Plot convenience? I don't know. World's End, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. A 6.5 out of 10. It had so much potential. It had so many things they could have trapped with that they didn't use, just to make another fucking alien movie.
I give it a 5 to 6. I give it a 5 or 6 out of 10, mostly because I wasn't really that invested in it like I was Shaun or Hot Fuzz. I was mostly just kind of waiting for the clock to run out on the movie, and I was.
Yeah. Also, it takes so long. Like, I'm in the boat. The aliens shouldn't have been there, but it takes so fucking long to get there. You know what I mean? It feels
it
you're already a
shoehorned.
half hour
into
like
this hour and a half
movie.
It feels shoehorned.
Right.
How? I don't get how Hot Fuzz is 30 minutes longer than this movie, and it feels like twice as long.
Oh my god! Wait, hold on. Wait, really? Hot Fuzz is longer than this movie?
Hot Fuzz is like 2 hours. Is 2 hours 10 minutes, and then this movie is like an hour 40, something like that.
An hour and 39 minutes.
God, it felt longer than that.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. I think because as a general audience, we only care about 2 characters, right? We only care about 2 people
Simon
as a
Pegg and
general
Nick Frost.
audience.
They have
Exactly.
this. They also have the shoehorned
no disrespect.
romance.
No
between,
disrespect.
They have the
No
shoehorned
disrespect to the
romance
other
between
guys.
Steve and Sam, for
Right,
no
yeah.
reason, and it goes nowhere. Friggin'.
You know what this reminded me of? Even though this movie came out before it, this reminded me of It Chapter 2.
I haven't watched that. I haven't
This
watched
really
it, so I
reminded
can't
me of
say
it.
anything. I haven't watched it.
Prepare to be disappointed.
I love that movie.
I
don't care
don't
what you say.
like the story
I
to
love
begin
Chapter
with because
2.
I'm not a huge Stephen King fan. I don't really care for Stephen King stuff. I think the story
Watch
is
it.
kind of
Watch
dumb.
it. Just
I
watch.
don't like it.
Watch It Chapter 2. Andre will agree with me. Watch It Chapter 2 specifically for Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
That's why. That's
Bill
the only reason I
Hader
love
is
it.
my. Bill Hader is the. Bill Hader's the biggest pro and biggest con of the movie, because.
Don't explain
I
why
don't
he's a
want
con.
this to be. I don't want to make this an It Chapter 2 review, but
We'll
like
get to that next year.
he's so funny. He's so funny that it destroys all of the horror that could possibly be built up in this 3.5 hour
God
long
damn, it's
movie.
three and a half
Okay.
hours.
It's
He
2 hours and
single-handed-
15 minutes.
He single-handedly gives the movie tonal issues. Friggin'.
God damn.
But
It was too
but
funny.
yeah,
I'll give you that. It was too
but yeah,
funny.
The World's End was okay. Friggin', it was fine. It's not a movie I'd go out. I would watch Hot Fuzz again, and Shaun of the Dead I've seen plenty of times, so of course I'd watch it again. World's End is not a movie I would watch unless I wanted to show somebody Cornetto films or Edgar Wright movies. So it's again.
I'll go as far as best to worst. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End for me. I just love Shaun of the Dead. I just love it too much. You know what I mean?
I'm
What's
torn
my
on
favorite?
Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I'm fucking torn because I really, 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 really like the
They
acting
both
of Simon
for
Pegg in
different
Shaun of the Dead, but I also really, 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 really like the story of Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
So okay, tell you what,
Yeah,
I'll go Hot Fuzz,
Okay.
Shaun of the Dead, and then The World's End. But I also I want to make this very clear. There is a huge fucking gap between Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. There's a huge fucking gap, like a big one.
And by the way, people, even though we're talking a lot of shit, The World's End wasn't a complete shit movie.
It was
was
a
still-
fine
it was-
movie.
it was still
just
good.
wasn't-
It was still good.
It just
It
wasn't
is-
that great.
It is no disaster movie.
Yeah, no, like it's an okay
It's
movie.
no disaster
it's just
movie,
not
that's
like,
for sure.
It's not one of their best movies that Simon
It's-
Pegg has done.
Out of the 3, it's just simply the weakest.
Mhm.
Shrek the Third. Well, it's not as bad as
No.
Shrek.
Absolutely not.
Not as bad as
no,
Shrek the-
Shrek the Third
I
is
would-
a piece of shit, garbage, dumpster fire. It's rubbish.
This is the Shrek. This is the Shrek Forever After of the trilogy. Is that
No.
fair?
No,
Not
it's
even.
not, because Shrek Forever After
Because
is
Shrek
good.
Forever After is actually probably
This is more.
one of the. Is,
The best
no,
one,
not the
yeah.
best one. Because Shrek 2
This
is
is like-
still
this
top
is-
dog. It's still top dog. It's like second best.
Yeah, Shrek 2 is the best. This is like Kung Fu Panda 3 to me, where like the first 2 movies are great and the third one's good. It's just not even close to the level as good as the first
I
and
don't know.
second one, right?
I don't know.
So
I
it's
don't know.
like-
The scene where Poe's
or like
doing
How
the
to Train
fucking
Your Dragon
Chi
3.
thing is dope as fuck.
Friggin'.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Inner
But,
peace.
but I would from worst to best, I would rate it The World's End, Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz. So yeah, so got a genuine question for you guys. If the filming thing, and all of our video is saved and it all gets synced up and put up, how does it feel to do Unfriended better than Unfriended?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know we have to do a parody of Unfriended at one point,
Mhm.
right?
I will
We
write
have
it.
to.
I'll
Mhm.
write it. I'll write it.
No, like
Hey.
let's do like a feature film, like of Unfriended, just a fan
Yeah,
film.
let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
No. Yeah,
Andre,
Or like
we'll do it.
at least
We'll write it.
at least a 30-minute short
We'll
film.
do it.
we'll write it
Can I
together.
can I get it?
You
Can I
wanna
get in
try?
on it too? I want to
We'll do
write some
it.
stuff too. Let's just write together.
jokes.
Fuck it.
You can write
No.
jokes.
You can bring out ideas. You'll bring out me and Matt. We're the two people with the two steering wheels at the front of the car, right? And then you're in the back seat. You know, you'll give out your ideas. It's like, oh, maybe I should make this left turn. You know, maybe, but you know, you'll mostly be there to be the killer that everyone saw coming from a mile away.
Why do I have to be the killer?
Because you are.
Because you want to be the killer, and we all know it.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
You're so edgy that it's impossible for you to not be the killer.
I wouldn't want to be the killer because everyone would see it coming. I wouldn't want to be the final. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be the final girl either.
Nah.
And by the way, I'm not calling myself a girl. I'm using that for. That's the term in movies. Final girl.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the final girl.
You do happen to have a penis, so you wouldn't be the final
Why
girl.
not?
Of course.
Why not?
You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. Why not?
I don't want to be the final
it is 2020.
survivor.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah, no, literally.
It's my fucking birthday, and you're gonna disrespect me on my birthday? Really? No, I'm kidding.
It's not even your birthday. We're filming this 4 days before
This
your
is
birthday.
coming out. This is coming out of my birthday, Andre.
I cannot guarantee that. I will try my damnedest. I will try my
Breaking
damnedest.
immersion. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna personally take 5 days to make the thumbnail finished. Okay, so that it comes out the day after your birthday. Okay.
I'm fine with that.
He's gonna procrastinate like a motherfucker.
God damn it!
Oh, don't worry. That's my specialty. That's my specialty. Roll up my sleeves. Get into some hardcore procrastination. Just gotta roll up our sleeves and start procrastinating.
Why are you taking your shirt off? Matt, please let that be the thumbnail.
All right. Look
Oh
at this
my
Daisy
God.
Duke looking ass.
I'm already
This
drawing
Daisy
the thumbnail.
Duke looking ass.
God damn it! Until next. Are we doing? We each pick our favorite Christmas movie.
Oh shit, we're doing a Christmas movie.
Oh yeah,
Next
let's
pod.
do that next, and then
we
we each get to pick our own Christmas movie.
Right. We have to get
We'll
Ryan
discuss
in on
it
that.
later, and then
We'll
me and
discuss it
Matt,
later.
me and you got to pick a week to talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. So until
It's
next
coming,
time,
guys.
Until next time, thank you guys for having me on your podcast. At the end of the day, this is still your podcast. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me do something for my birthday. I love you guys.
You?
I love you too, dude.
And I love you too, audience.
We wouldn't let you do this if we didn't love you. So.
I love how he specified it's your podcast. I love how he's fucking specified that.
Yeah, but like,
it's our,
you know what I mean?
It is our podcast.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Ours.
saying I have that personality that makes me sound like I'm big boy, even though I'm not. So I just wanted to make sure.
You know, three's a crowd if it's more than 2 hours. You know, right? It's
How long was fucking the RoboCop podcast? Was that the longest one?
No, the longest one was the Star Wars one.
No, technically the longest one was the fucking 7 hour, 31 day fucking. That was the longest one.
Oh yeah, the technically the longest one is the Holothon compiled all into one video, and that was 7 hours long.
That doesn't really count.
I count that.
I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed you guys didn't have me in that for at least one movie.
Well,
that would have been great. I would have loved to do that.
It was but guess what? It was a me, Matt, and Colton thing.
I know.
You didn't need to be involved.
I just would have loved to do
the sea.
I just would have loved to do a horror movie.
Tell you what,
I just would have loved to do a horror
Sebastian.
movie.
All right, tell you what.
Then pick a Christmas horror movie for our Christmas podcast.
No! None of them are good.
No,
None of them are good.
I picked Christmas with the Cranks. I called it.
I gotta waste my energy
I'm kidding.
watching a shitty
I'm
horror
kidding.
Christmas movie.
What was the one that was actually good? Ryan. Why do I have a feeling Ryan's gonna pick fucking Krampus? I have a weird feeling.
The
he's
movie's so
gonna pick
fucking
Krampus.
stupid.
Do you remember that?
Krampus is so. I've seen Krampus. That
But do you
movie's so
remember?
dumb.
Do you remember? It was all comedians.
It's the worst
in the horror movie. Do you remember that?
It is so stupid.
Let's pick actual Christmas movies. We'll pick actual Christmas movies.
Yes.
You know, not horror movies. Actually,
And they
family
can't.
Christmas
Okay.
movies. Okay.
I have
make a rule.
a feeling.
They cannot be super mainstreamed ones like Elf or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
No, that's not the same. That's
No.
not the. Those are
Yeah.
Christmas movies.
They have to be like.
Yes. No, we're...
They cannot
If somebody
be
okay,
the
how about
super,
we
like,
shouldn't
common
stop
ones.
them from picking them, right?
What's that?
Here's the thing. What if I pick Christmas Vacation?
I feel like
we
if
shouldn't-
somebody has no, I feel like if somebody has no idea what to pick and they decide they want to choose Home Alone or something, right? I feel like they should be fine.
Okay.
It should be fine to choose Home Alone, right?
Okay.
Here's what I'll say.
You know,
Here, tell me if this.
what I'm trying to
tell me
say
if
is
this will
I
make
also
sense.
want, like-
no obvious.
Okay.
Diverse content.
Yes.
I want to like bring out
We're
like
not
just
choosing
some random
Nightmare Before
movies.
Christmas.
Like not like
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's make a rule.
Not Frozen. That's not a
not-
Christmas movie.
Not non-Christmas movies. Not Jumanji because it ends at Christmas. That'd be the biggest fuck you. I picked Jumanji as my
I already
favorite Christmas
know.
movie.
I already know. I already know which one I'm picking though. I already know.
You're picking Die Hard.
Damn it!
Yeah, he's picking
Damn it!
It's a
It
Christmas
is a
movie.
Christmas movie. It is a
Christmas
fucking Christmas movie.
Technically.
Yeah, it's a fucking
But
Christmas
why-
movie. You cannot.
Why couldn't you choose Gremlins?
Fuck you.
Why couldn't
Fuck
you
it.
pick?
If you want to pick
you know what,
Gremlins,
fuck it.
pick
You know-
Gremlins.
Well,
Tell you
nah,
what,
but like
Die
we're
Hard,
discussing- you know what?
Gremlins, and then
This
we'll
is
go to
not
the other
something we
ones.
should be discussing at the end of our fucking Cornetto Trilogy podcast. This is just something we should be discussing after when we stop hitting that record button. You know, discuss it like civilized adults. You know.
Well, we already.
If I want to choose Gremlins 2 a new batch, I'm going to choose Gremlins 2 a new batch.
I love how.
The second one.
I love-
They don't need to know.
I love how Andre's like, we should not be talking about this right now, but I fucking picked Gremlins.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Tell you
I'm
what.
not picking Gremlins. I have a very specific set of skills to pick the movie that I want to pick, and it's not Gremlins.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Tell you
Let's
what.
take your tits out again.
It's okay. If we can do Die Hard, you can do Gremlins. All right.
No, I'm not choosing
What the
Gremlins.
fuck?
I want somebody else to choose Gremlins.
I'm not choosing Gremlins
Because
Sebastian, choose Gremlins.
I already...
I hate Gremlins. I'm not picking Gremlins.
I'll bribe Ryan.
We should bring all five of... We should bring all five guys
Oh,
out
fuck.
for the Christmas one.
Colton
Friggin-
too.
Colton too. I
Alright.
think Colton would... He could pick Gremlins.
I'm gonna bribe
I-
somebody. It's not hard.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you what. We'll have this
Fuck, bring
conversation.
Dion if you want.
We'll
Friggin-
have this conversation another time.
All right.
All right.
I love you guys.
I love y'all. Thank
If
you
you
for
see
listening.
Yeah, middle.
If you watch this podcast, I am now dead. So.
It's my birthday, bitches. Bye.
When's your
I-
birthday?
I'm sorry.
Saturday.
I apologize.
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
Saturday. Ooh, the perfect day to have
All
a
right.
birthday.
I'm gonna try to see if I can get it
Friggin-
uploaded by Saturday.
I apologize.
Okay. I love you guys.
I apologize for my Charlie Day energy at the end of there. I apologize.
I love it. I love it. I think it's great.
I fucking
I
love
it.
Charlie Day, so it's cool.